This testing section is about testing the pelvic floor strength and actually relaxation as well. So we're gonna walk you through how to do an internal test and an external test, but first let's talk about really the proper way to do a Kegel. So it's kind of thrown out there, just Kegel. But what we have found over the years of doing this is that people do them incorrectly. So first we wanna think of doing it with our breath. So, and you wanna make sure that you're laying down for this at first, and then you can work your way up to like standing and seated. So we're gonna take a little bit of an inhale, and then as you exhale, you're gonna think of just a little lift up, like you're lifting up a marble at the lowest point of your abs. So right above the pubic bone, below the belly button. Now, this is not an all-out contraction. So the other thing that you want to make sure that you're being very careful about is that your bum is not squeezing. So sometimes kind of digging your fingers in, make sure that you're not clenching. And then that little lift up of that marble, or if it helps you to think of kind of an elevator lifting, but it's just the slightest little lift and pull in, that's what you want to get. Now, we want to do it a couple ways. You want to be able to exhale, lift it up, inhale, let it go, real fast. The other one is gonna be lift up and hold for as long as you can, breathing under that. So inhaling with that hold, exhaling, pull it up a little bit more. And all of this is while not letting our external obliques kick in, our rectus. This is all just pelvic floor and kind of low TAs. Now, from here, we're gonna talk about the internal test. So now we have the right way to do a Kegel. You're gonna be able to feel this. So the biofeedback that you're gonna get is gonna be invaluable. So you're gonna take a finger. This is not pleasurable. You don't have candles and Boys to Men on. This is just purely rehab. So you're gonna take a finger or two, you're gonna insert it into your vagina, and then as you exhale, you are gonna feel that like vacuum, that lift up and squeeze in. And then you're gonna let go, and you wanna feel the muscles around your fingers tighten and then release. Tighten and then release. Now, newly postpartum, and I can speak from like pelvic floor being wrecked after vaginal deliveries, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna not have a whole lot of squeeze. It's gonna be like the littlest squeeze and let go. You're like, am I even feeling anything? And that's totally normal, but this is another one that's gonna be important to check throughout the program to see if you're getting that feedback, if you're able to get the strength back through the pelvic floor. Now, we're gonna go ahead and sit up and we're gonna do our external test. So this one's a little less invasive, obviously, external. So we're gonna sit here cross-legged, and what we wanna think about, again, not that full contraction, just the little pull up or zip up of the yoke of the marble. So we're gonna sit here, we're gonna take that inhale, and then as you exhale, you're just feeling that little lift up, and you shouldn't feel your butt squeeze, you shouldn't feel yourself kind of like clench up. It's literally like you imagine your sit bones pulling in. Another cue that I kind of like is imagine like sucking your butthole up or holding in a fart without squeezing your butt. So that's another good way. We all know what that feels like. So take an inhale, and you'll feel just this like little pull in, like medial part of the hips and lower.
And then can you also speak about when you inhale and the pelvic floor lowers, that heaviness you should feel against the mat?
So that's a good point. So you want to be able, like I talked about, letting the pelvic floor relax. So when we don't have the feedback from our fingers, as you inhale, you want to think of inhaling down, and you'll get a little bit of a heavy feeling, not like feeling like something's going to drop out, but just that pressure down and then that lift up. So that's a less invasive way to check in. Maybe even if you're like starting the workout saying like, oh, let me just check in with my Kegel a little bit and give that a go.